Warm regards and welcome to Neurovation News. I'm Jeff, talking to you about neurofeedback, the top tier treatment for mental health issues that unfortunately very few people seem to know about. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about ADHD. In particular, we want to talk about executive function problems. Now, when it comes down to executive functioning issues, this is typically considered a frontal lobe issue. It's characterized by having a hard time planning and organizing to get things done, difficulty with getting activities lined up, struggling to accomplish your tasks on time, or even if at all. It has a lot to do with avoiding tasks, failing to follow through on instructions or work. It's being forgetful of daily activities or responsibilities. Now, what I find interesting is in the diagnostic manual for ADHD, these concepts are all listed under attentional issues, when in fact they're really not. They're frontal lobe issues in the vast majority of cases and need to be treated separately from actual attentional issues, which I addressed in the second part. Now, I'm going to talk about three different ways that I see this present. One of them has to do with a lot of what we would call super slow electrical activity in the frontal lobes. This is an underarousal where the frontal lobes go offline, generating these kinds of symptoms. These are the folks where you could look at them and say, hey, could you take out the garbage? They look at you and go, sure. And then nothing seems to happen, simply because the cause and effect processing is not occurring. That which allows them to engage with their external world is essentially not engaging. Now, the second one is similar to that. It's what I would consider to be a lowered arousal level where the brain is in more of an idling state, not offline per se, what we would call alpha excesses in the brain. And these are significantly related to things like a lack of initiative, low motivation, an inability to switch the attentional network into a more productive, engaged network that allows you to act. There's a third way that I see oftentimes executive functioning problems show up. This would be in slow processing speed, where the brain is actually limiting or restricting the input of sensory data to the extent that at some point when there's too much data coming in, the brain wants to shut off and go, no more, slow down, I can't handle it. And so now executive functioning in terms of getting projects done, getting things done, is clearly inhibited. I hope that this has stirred your interest, and if you want to know more, continue listening or click the link.